Well, this is typical, innit? Hello friends, what's going on? Welcome back to Football Therapy with me, your host here, and I hope you are all doing well today. I really do hope that namaste, bienvenue, willkommen, and all that gear. Welcome back to Chelsea News, the daily series here, of course, on Football Therapy, where I analyse the headlines, giving you my opinion, but more importantly, asking for yours. Today I'm talking about the fixture schedule, most notably the opening 6 games that everyone is losing their mind over. And also, I want to talk about whether Chelsea can challenge for this Premier League title without a new striker. Ooh. Thank you to all of you who have subscribed to Football Therapy, and if you are a returning visitor, yet you are not subscribed, hey mate, just take a second to click it. It means a lot, and thank you to all of you who drop a like on the video. It's very sweet of you. And yes, you're probably bored of hearing it, but as soon as I get 10,000 subscribers on Football Yannick, I promise I will never mention it here again on Football Therapy. Do subscribe to Football Yannick, 2 or 3 videos a day, extra content. You'll probably dig it there, sweet viewer. Link is down in the description or the corner of the screen in the card. Road to 10k, and then I'll stop mentioning it on here, I promise. Alright then, let's get into it. So, the Premier League algorithmic supercomputer has spat out the fixture schedule for the next campaign. And Chelsea have been shafted. That's right, after a pre-season and, especially after a, tournament year, pandemic season, all this kind of stuff, you want a bit of time to settle into the fixtures. Calm yourself in, chill out, find your feet. Yes, you're probably going to have a difficult game in there, but that's alright because, they're starting as well. But to have a lot of difficult games in the first 6 fixtures is pretty mental. I am going to cite an article, a sport bible of all bloody things, just to basically look at the fixtures and see what they're saying, because it is a difficult thing. I'll talk you through each fixture in the opening 6 games and why they're difficult. So Thomas Tuchel and the boys are going to have a very testing opening period in the Premier League. Let's have a read, friends. Chelsea will begin their 2021-22 Premier League season with the unenviable task of facing 3 of the Big 6 away from home in their opening 6 matches. The Premier League has released its fixtures for next season, and Thomas Tuchel has been dealt a brutal hand. Poor geezer, he can't get a break. Been parachuted in halfway through last season in a difficult time. He had to, won the Champions League, give him a little bit of rest, and, here we go. Stupidly hard fixture list immediately. Wham, bam. Here's the beginning of the Premier League season, thank you ma'am. After the Blues host Crystal Palace in their first game of the new campaign, Tuchel takes his team to Arsenal, then Liverpool in back-to-back away games, then it's Aston Villa at home, before being back on the road to battle Tottenham. They round off September with a juggernaut clash against League champions Manchester City. Oh my giddy aunt. Yeah, real difficult. Let's look at the fixtures a little bit closer and run through them. I'll put them up on the screen now. First up, Crystal Palace at home. This is probably the most palatable one of the bunch. That's kind of just what the doctor ordered. Yes, it's the first game of the season and you see upsets, and it wouldn't be historic if Palace somehow got a result at Chelsea, but ultimately you can't ask for too much more. They'll have a new manager, so he'll be unsettled. There might be a new manager bounce, who knows. Amazing if it would be Frank Lampard. But generally, I'm going to say I'm happy with Crystal Palace at home for the first game of the season. Next up, Arsenal away. Now this will be difficult despite what you think about the Gunners at the moment. Yes, they are a club in crisis in many ways, but they will do some transfer business. They have got really, really good players that are ultimately underperforming, and they will look to bounce back at the beginning of the season, especially at home in the Emirates with Arsenal fans backing them, and they will absolutely love to get a result against Chelsea. Also, Arsenal beat Chelsea. They just beat Chelsea the last few years, ever since Conte, I believe. Arsenal seem to just beat Chelsea even when they're at their worst. So at home, back with the fans behind them, this will be really, really difficult. Despite what you think about Arteta, despite what you think about the, how Arsenal are performing as a team, this will be difficult. Next up, Liverpool away. I don't really know what to say about this. It's ruddy Liverpool at Anfield with fans in the stadium probably. So this will be absolutely difficult. Of course, they won the Premier League and Champions League recently. And again, they have an incredible team. They're buying new players. just Liverpool at Anfield after a transfer window with Klopp ready to be rejuvenated and go again. Liverpool away at Anfield feels more threatening than Man City away at the Etihad. So this is just possibly the hardest fixture. Like, it's just sickening. Next up, Aston Villa at home. Well, we all know about Aston Villa. They're a very, very good team. Again, this is just one of those games that you think, oh, it's not going to be easy. Villa are good. They'll probably make more signings. You know, they've just bought Emi Buendia, who's an incredible player, and if they keep Jack Grealish, again, they'll just back themselves to do something against Chelsea. So you can't. I'm not really complaining about this one because it's, you know, it's just a good team at the beginning of the season, but it's not an easy game, is what I'm trying to say. Next up, Tottenham Hotspur away, the Harry Kane team. Again, Kane, Son, if Kane does indeed not move this summer, and let's be honest, he's likely to be priced out of a move. So Harry Kane, the new manager Fonseca, you know, could be again a new manager bounce. They'll, you know, you imagine all the players will be playing for the coach to prove themselves why they should be in that team. It's a London derby in Tottenham's new stadium. You know, it's just going to be an incredibly difficult game. And then finally, just to spice things up, why not throw the Premier League champions in there at Stamford Bridge? Yes, at Stamford Bridge, and hope, you know, Chelsea have just beaten Man City in the Champions League final, because Chelsea are the champions of Europe. The entirety of Europe Chelsea are champions of. So Chelsea can beat City, but of course they're the Premier League champions, and it's a very difficult game to round off the first 6 games of that campaign. Thomas Tuchel will be looking at that and thinking, still whinging done, ladies and gentlemen. Let's rally, come together and be like, you know what? Get these games out of the way early. Get some results and you're in pole position to put a title charge on. Wicked. Awesome. Don't worry about them. Bring them all on. Bring the hardest fixtures first. We're going to eat them up. This is the kind of positivity we need to try and mount a title challenge. But can Chelsea mount a title challenge without a striker? Let's talk about that. Cool. Now, Germany lost to France last night, and they had the majority of possession and loads of ball around France's 18-yard box, but didn't score goals. They had the complement of Kai Havertz up front, and then Timo Werner coming on. 2 players that are very young and very talented and can score goals, but can't be relied on as talismanic goal-scoring figures, in my opinion. Kai Havertz is an absolutely elite player, and I think he'll be seriously special, but I never think he's going to be like a 25 Premier League, goal scorer as a centre forward. He'll be a different kind of player. And similarly, Timo Werner, I don't think he's going to hit incredible numbers in the Premier League, although he's proven to be very, very useful in the Premier League with his runs, his, assists, his winning penalties, his hard work, his pressing. Just realised I lost focus there. So I think when it comes to Werner and Havertz, both very, very useful, but again, that sort of Germany game reminded me why both can't be relied on to be talismanic goal scorers. Like, they had Müller as well. Müller's used to playing with Lewandowski. If you had a Werner, a Havertz and a Lewandowski, you got a different ball game. Of course, this comes back to Erling Haaland, the player that Chelsea really want. And there's been some reports that Erling Haaland would like the Chelsea move eventually, whether it be this summer or next. It's a very, very interesting situation. Why am I losing focus? This is so annoying. Sorry, guys. This never happens in football therapy. I'll stay closer. It's a very, very interesting situation with Haaland. Chelsea clearly really hell, dude. It's a really interesting situation with Haaland. Chelsea clearly really need a striker. If they can't get him, and it's no given that they're going to sign Erling Haaland, what do? Can they sign another striker, or can they make a title challenge with this current set of players? Very talented players, loads of talented forwards, but none of them have been used to be scoring an incredible amount of goals, except maybe Werner in his last season for Leipzig. So I'm really concerned, because although I believe in the manager tactically, and I believe in these players in terms of their ability and talent, I don't believe on an elite goal conversion. Now, a lot of people would go to Man City last season. They didn't have a mega scorer. I don't know if Foden or Gundogan was their top goal scorer, but they didn't have an elite striker. I feel like Chelsea, with these players, we need one. Yes, if we can play like Man City and systemically just carve open chances and open goal cutback situations, then great. And maybe Thomas Tuchel can achieve that with Chelsea, but I'm not entirely sure that will happen. I'm really worried, so I wanted to put it out to you guys, the viewers here in Football Therapy, just to a simple yes or no, maybe say yeah, or give me your opinion actually. Do you think Chelsea can win the league without a new striker? and say Giroud's sold. So say we've got Tammy, although Tammy's probably going to be sold. Just think of the current players. We might get a backup striker. Could we win the league with another backup striker and no elite striker? Comment down below. I want the collective fan opinion. I want to hear it. Other than that, thanks for hanging out, guys. Thank you for everyone who's checked out Football Yannick. I really appreciate your support. That's it, probably. So enjoy the football, and I'll see you later.
You ain't so tough with that bad boy tuck. I'ma get it how I'm living, I'ma walk the walk. Outline my lines, I rap through thought. Body bag the verse, outlined in chalk. In my life seen trouble, hustle on the double. Silence on the trigger like my pick got a muzzle. Yo chick like to guzzle, bad boy stay in trouble. I only love this paper, sorry I don't. I laugh me, baby.